The Royal Road chord progression, or
王道進行
is a chord progression that goes 4, 5, 3, 6. Say we're in the key of C. Our diatonic chords would be. Therefore, our Royal Road progression goes F, G, E minor, and then A minor. This progression is often resolved using a 2-5-1 at the end, which is D minor G, C in the key of C, although looping the progression itself is quite popular too. Some examples of the Royal Road progression include Other variations include 4-5-6, skipping the 3, four, 3-6, skipping the 5, and changing the 4 to the 2. There are a lot more variations, and this video sums it up pretty well. 4 on the floor is a drum rhythm where the kick is played on every downbeat. This rhythm is usually fulfilled with the snare or clap at beats 2 and 4 with accented hi-hats at every upbeat or ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This rhythm is frequently used in dance and electronic music in the West, although Japan uses it literally everywhere. Secondary dominants are dominant chords that resolve to a chord that isn't the one chord. Diatonic chords have functions. You could see here that our 2 and 4 chords have the same function, which is why you could change the 4 chord with the 2 chord in the Royal Road progression. Going back on topic, the dominant function chords are chords that really want to resolve to a tonic, the strongest resolution being the 5 or the 7 diminished chord to the 1 chord. We can take this concept and apply it to our other diatonic chords. Say we want to go to our 6th chord. In the key of C, that's A minor. The dominant 5 chord for A minor would be E major. We can make this clearer by writing the secondary dominant as a 5 of 6 or 5 of whatever the target chord is. In Japanese music, the most commonly used is the secondary dominant to the 6th chord or the 3 major. They are often played as dominant 7th chords to have a stronger resolution. Secondary dominants are also often played as a first inversion, meaning the third of the chord becomes the lowest note, which resolves very well up a half step, as this third is the 7th of the target chord. This is usually written with a 6th superscript, while having an extra 4 subscript means second inversion, where the 5th becomes the lowest note. Another way is just to play a diminished chord a half step below our target chord. The minor 5 chord is more often than not better interpreted as the 2 of the 4. It is frequently followed up by the 1 dominant 7 chord and then to the 4. And with what we've previously learned, we can interpret this movement as a secondary 2-5 to the 4 chord. The passing flat 6 chord is used when going from the 6th chord to the 5 minor chord, which we now know is just the 2 of 4. Harmonically, this chord doesn't have a specific function and often just acts as a passing chord to add spice. The flat 6-5-1 chord progression is also a popular chord progression used in Japanese music. Keep in mind that our 1 chord is minor now. It is more known in the West as the Just the Two of Us chord progression. It has a darker mood due to the major 5 chord, which uses the raised 7th from the harmonic minor. Due to it being darker, it is widely used by Vocaloid and also ex-Vocaloid producers. With a major context, which I have been doing until now, then this progression would be interpreted as 4 major 3-6, with the 3 major being the secondary dominant to the 6. The anime progression is a chord progression that goes 1, diminished 7, major 3, 6, minor 5, 1, and then 4. It then continues with a few variations. This chord progression may seem complex, but using what we've learned, this progression is really simple. Starting with the tonic, it goes to a minor 2-5-1 to the 6 chord, with a diminished 2 chord because our target chord is minor, although some songs do omit the 2, which follows up to a major 2-5-1 to the 4 chord this time, and after that, it's basically just the Royal Road progression and finally ending with a 2-5 to our tonic. The line cliche is the movement of a note within a chord progression that goes down or up a semitone while keeping roughly the same chord playing. The most common progression is a 6, flat 6 augmented, 1 in second inversion, sharp 4 minor 7 flat 5, and then ending with either the 4 or 2 since they both contain the 4th degree. A few examples of a line cliche going down a semitone include Modulation by a minor third just means going from our key to its parallel minor or major depending on whether you're modulating up or down. To explain it as simply as possible, if we are in say C major, we would have the same notes as A minor, our relative minor, which is a minor third down from C. Therefore, modulating a minor third down means going from A minor to A major. The same goes the other way. In E flat major, which is a minor third up from C, we would have the same notes as we do in C minor. Therefore, modulating a minor third up means going from C major to C minor. Whew, I really hope that explains it. If you didn't understand any of that, then an easier way to understand is basically going up a minor third has a darker feeling while the opposite goes for going down. It's popular because it sounds very smooth to the ears since the parallel keys share a lot of notes. The Blackadder chord is a type of augmented chord named by Ongaku Concept. Other than sounding badass, it is quite a strange chord which consists of the root, flat 7, 9, and sharp 11 with no third. It has various other names in Japan such as Bunsu Augmented and Ikisugi chord. You've actually heard it in this video. Remember this? It was also in Onna no Ko ni Naritai after the first intro section. easier way of interpreting this chord is an augmented chord with the bass on its tritone. Say we have G augmented, our bass would be its tritone, which is D flat. This chord would then resolve nicely to C, which is actually its main usage, resolving a half step down. This is in the more niche side of things, but its usage is actually very well documented. Well, that's basically it. Comment down below if I missed anything, and I hope you could learn something new from this video. Thank you for watching.